And there are calls for justice from the family of a young American man beaten to death by settlers in the West Bank. Hundreds of Palestinians turned out for the funeral of Sayfullah Musalat on Sunday. The 20-year-old was born in Florida to parents of Palestinian heritage. The Palestinian Health Ministry and eyewitnesses say settlers severely beat him in a town north of Ramallah. His family says that he was trying to protect their land. The State Department says it's aware of reports, and Israel says it's investigating what it calls a confrontation. Let's get more from our Jeremy Diamond. Jeremy, what more can you tell us about this American that was killed in the West Bank? I know you and your team have been doing some fantastic reporting. Just bring us up to date with the very latest.
Well, Issa, he is an American citizen, but in many ways what has happened to Saif Musalat is part and parcel of the violence that we have seen against Palestinians in the West Bank, both by the Israeli military but also by Israeli settlers. And that is the context with which to view this story. And in fact, as we were covering this story, our team as well also came under attack from Israeli settlers in the area.
In the back of an ambulance, Saif Musalat's aunt says one final goodbye. She is far from alone. Hundreds in this West Bank town have come to honor the American son who is deeply rooted in his Palestinian community. Saif was killed on Friday, just 2 weeks before his 21st birthday. Beaten to death by Israeli settlers, according to his family. Those settlers also shot and killed another Palestinian man in the same attack, according to eyewitnesses. It is a senseless yet all too common outcome in the West Bank.
Today it is an American citizen being put to rest here, but over the course of the last 20 months of this war, nearly 1,000 Palestinians have been killed in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, according to the United Nations. But today, Saif Musalat's family is demanding an American investigation into his death.
We want justice.
His father, Kamel, was home in Florida, where he runs an ice cream shop with his son, when he got the call that Saif had been attacked by settlers.
You never think that it's your son or anything like that who is this happening to. And then I got word that it was my son. He was hit, he was beaten, he lost conscience, but nobody could get to him. Ambulance couldn't come in. Why? Because the IDF restricted that. The IDF blocked that.
So you hold the Israeli military?
I hold the Israeli military just as responsible as the settlers and the American government for not doing anything about this.
The State Department said it is aware of Saif's death, but declined to comment further on calls for an investigation. Israeli authorities say they are investigating but have not made any arrests. For 2 months now, Palestinians here say Israeli settlers have been encroaching on their land and terrorizing Palestinians who try and access it. This was the scene on Friday as Saif and other Palestinians tried to reach their farmland. Hafez Abdel Jabbar said he saw settlers chase after a man he would later learn was Saif.
They ran up the hill, they caught Muslim, they started beating him with sticks.
By the time he reached Saif's body, he was already dead. As we head to the location where Saif's body was retrieved, a white vehicle suddenly appears behind us.
We have a group of settlers who are now following us in their vehicle. They've put their masks on as well, which is a concerning indication.
At an intersection, the settlers get out and try to pelt our vehicle. But we manage to approach a nearby Israeli border police vehicle, and the settlers turn around.
No, he's trying to get rocks. Shoot.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, shoot.
Go, drive, keep driving.
The masked men smashed the rear windshield of our car, but we managed to speed off unharmed.
No,
They turned.
It is just a small window into the reality here.
If it would have took us 5 more seconds, we all would have been beaten with these
You think they would
sticks.
have beaten us?
Yes, sir.
But your son was also killed.
In January 2024, by a settler, simply just being there barbecuing.
What does that feel like to have to constantly try and tell the world what's happening?
You scream into the whole world, and the whole world is watching. Simply silent. Seeing all these mothers put their sons that they worked so hard to raise them up for 20 years, and you pick them up and you put them in the ground under the sky, and the silence go on and on and on.
And Israeli police tell us that they have opened an investigation into the attack on our team, and they say that they, quote, take such matters extremely seriously. We will be monitoring to see what the outcome of that investigation is, because, Issa, as you know, there has been enormous levels of impunity for these Israeli settlers in the West Bank for some time now, and to the extent that the Mossalat family is also doubtful that the investigation that the Israeli military and the Israeli police say they are carrying out into their son's death, they have very little confidence in. Issa?
Vital reporting from you and your team, Jeremy. Thank you very much indeed.